This is Dim Boys featuring Super, aka the John Man. We
Yeah.
have Mac Daddy, aka the Bitch. We
Hi.
Mm.
have DC Bake, who is the ultimate Dim Boy since day one. So,
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
and our special guest today is the wrestler known as the Bill from Knoxville.
Oh.
Sure, hello.
No, didn't you used to wrestle?
I did a long time ago.
Well, shit, it's a long time ago right now. We're transporting your ass back.
Back to
We're
the
Why?
transporting you back,
back to the
Jeff.
past. Let's
Yeah,
go.
you're getting
Well, the
transported
past,
back.
the past is okay. It has its moments, but you know,
So,
obviously,
d- what did you
what?
amateur wrestle? Obviously, you must have amateur wrestled.
If you want to call it amateur wrestling, it's not really. It's basically the same thing you see on TV. So it's pro wrestling, but we're not doing it as a $1 billion company. We're doing it as a $200 company. It's
Hey.
like National Guard Armory, youth center, stuff like that. It's not like global or anything. It's just mainly just to entertain locally, and
Did you
I don't,
wrestle in
I,
around Greenville, North Carolina?
I don't know if you would call it professional. I call it amateur professional, but no one else seems to want to help me coin that phrase in. But that's okay. But no, it's just something that you just have to love to do.
Uh,
Well,
hey,
we
That's why I
John,
chose.
do you know what that noise is in the background? Is that Jeff? Who is
It might.
that?
The
You know,
feedback?
Oh, it's just the feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just feedback from using the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyways, Jeff,
that's
that shit's dope as fuck. So, were you based around Greenville?
basically what
So in Greenville, basically. So you were doing like 99.5 the X wrestling and shit like that, which is a local radio show in Greenville, North Carolina. Because I remember they had a wrestling league, and to me, that's what that is in my head. Like Jeff sitting there, like doing arm bars and knocking people off and stuff, you know.
Whooping the
Mac
asses.
knows a lot about what? Did you ever wrestle Mac?
I wrestled for 2 weeks in middle school, but I hurt my knee real bad from football, so I quit. Like my like joints are so bad, like I don't even know how I play hockey right now. But like I wasn't really able to do any contact sports for a few years because from playing football and actually wrestling for even that small amount of time, my fucking knees and my fucking back and all that shit were fucked up. So like
Damn.
I wrestled for 2 weeks, and the only reason why I did was because like the weight class I was in, like there's really not a lot of people in it, so it would have been easy. Apparently, it would have been easier for me to win, and that's what the wrestling coach wanted. Because back in the day, I probably when I wrestled, I probably weighed like 80, 70 pounds maybe, somewhere around that range. And
God.
yeah, dude, listen, I'm gonna be tiny until I turn 30, so I have 7 more years to love my physique that I'm in. But no,
Love it.
like
Cherish it.
I wrestled for 2 weeks, and I guess I was doing all right. I don't know. I mean, from what I remember, just in practices and stuff, and I guess I was doing all right. All right at it. I mean, like the little bit I learned, I learned a little like takedown and stuff, and I mean, if I needed to, like I probably can use it now still. I mean, it's probably gonna be rusty as fuck. The form's probably gonna be bad, but I mean, like, I know when it comes to like grappling and stuff, I know more about like MMA stuff than I would just natural wrestling. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not. I mean, I, I can't say like I'm not an expert, obviously. Like, I mean, I watch UFC and stuff, and I mean, I practice on my own. Like, I kind of look at like videos and stuff, and just kind of interpret what I see on there into like what I can do. So like, I like just practice the movement and stuff, but like in an actual, I guess, grappling match with someone that actually knows what they're doing, I probably wouldn't do so well. But like in a street fight or something, maybe something like that, I probably can use like the little bit of like jujitsu that I kind of taught myself. It's probably not like the correct way, but I mean, like, I know how to like put people into an arm bar. I know how to get into chokeholds, and I somewhat can put people into a triangle choke. I mean, it doesn't work all the time, but I mean, I can do it if I actually try.
Right.
But there's a MMA gym that just opened up down the street from my house, and on Sunday, your free week starts. So I think not this week because I'm busy with school this week, but the next week I'm gonna join for a free week and see how it is. Because I might be having to bust some skulls in a few months. So gotta bust the skulls and choke them out at the same time.
Well, look, I can tell you from personal experience, I know that there's no way Jeff could wrestle like that. So, you know, I just want to let you know that. I mean, he can barely wrestle them 2-gallon jugs.
Hey.
You know, that's
In
like
the
from
milk
like 2
department.
years of physical abuse.
Oh, got him. Jeff.
Get wrecked.
All for
Right.
that.
You know what I used to do? Like when I used to work for Starbucks, I would go in the back and I would always pull milk from the front, right? So what I would do,
Lift weights
is-
up.
I would pull the milk from the front and we would just never think about it. But eventually I found out we weren't supposed to do that. And apparently Jeff would get very mad and start like throwing punches and shit. And we were like, damn, Jeff, chill, it's just milk. But he was serious about that milk, man. That's how I started talking to him. It was
Well,
really
that means
sad.
I have to work again. That's what that means. When you go and pull from me, now I gotta go in the back and put more milk back in it. I'm a busy guy.
Nice.
You already got to work.
Okay.
Shit,
That's
you know
a
what I
hard
do
from all that-
now, Jeff? I just pull shit back from the crates, man. That's what I do. Just pull shit directly back from the crates, and that's all I do. You know? Fuck it. Back it. But for real, do you
Back
still
it.
watch? Do you still watch wrestling, Jeff? Because I actually know at
no.
Harris Teeter there
What?
is an elderly lady. She actually does the same thing. Like she watches like wrestling. She's really big into WWE and shit. But also like she loves Rick and Morty and shit. Like me and Matt were talking to her the other day, and she's like all
doesn't
big
like
into
Rick?
Rick and Morty and
I'm-
fucking that shit wrestling.
The WWE right now is kind of like shitty. Like
It is.
I
And
tried.
that's the reason I stopped watching years ago. Once you learn how to do it,
Yeah.
all you see when you watch wrestling is them talking and them fucking up moves. All right, I'm done with this. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Right.
Because you're just going to talk for 30. I don't want to hear you cut a promo for 30 minutes. I used to sit in locker rooms and listen to people's promos go on and on. So hurry the fuck up so we can go do our match, man. Come on.
Yeah, like the acting in WWE now is so shitty. Like back in like the mid 2000s, like 05 to 2010, like that's when like I love to watch wrestling. Like that's when it's all the good wrestlers were there. Like you actually believe like it wasn't fake. And now I try to watch it. I want to say maybe a few months ago, and I was like, dude, like I just can't. It's shit.
It's
It's
over the
painful.
top.
It's painful to watch
It's
now.
over the top now too. You know.
And that's just the over the topness about it. But
I mean, I know people older than me, like same age group as me, that still love to watch it. I'm like, bro, like how can you like transit like from that time to this time? How can you like be mentally able to transition into that? Like, I'm not trying to call people dumb, but you have to be a dumbass to fucking actually enjoy this shit now. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's not good. Like, I think I'd rather watch paint dry than watch the WWE nowadays.
Damn.
well, you
Damn.
got to remember that pro wrestling goes 80% to rednecks. And I'm sorry, true. It's fucking true.
Oh
80%
damn.
redneck, 10% mentally handicapped, the other 8% black,
Shit.
2% max, 2% max.
Fucking savage
That
over
is
here.
and that's your wrestling audience. And we all know that some people just love that. They love it. I don't know what it is. They know it's fake. I mean, it's not fake. Excuse me. I can't believe I said that. But no, it's playing
Ooh.
grab. But there's still loyal fans who love it, and it still entertains them, and it's amazing. And they think it's the greatest thing in the world. And I mean, I've got people running up to me for my autograph, and I'm the bad guy at a local gymnasium. You know, no one cared, but everyone loved it,
Right.
and they all have trackers.
Right.
Uh-uh.
That's fair though. I have a very limited wrestling experience myself. Shoot, we didn't have wrestling in high school, so I didn't really participate, obviously, because that wasn't a thing, and I didn't really hang out with the people that would go to parties and be rowdy, so I skipped out on a lot of that. But my cousin did wrestling in high school in Long Island, and I've always just had a natural knack for that kind of thing. So I used to wrestle him. Granted, I'm in a different weight class. I'm a weight class above him, so it wasn't really equal. I usually beat him out. And then when I went to college, I went to a couple parties where there were some wrestlers there, and some of them they still did local stuff, and they were really good. And it was just interesting to watch, because some people will like come up with stuff, you know, they'll just kind of make up something on the fly, and it's very fun to watch. When you actually see people actually wrestling, it's an entertaining sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, like the jiu-jitsu
But
shit and stuff like that. That's crazy. It is.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. I love it when Jeff comes by like the stall and he's just like randomly yells crazy stuff. And I always assume it's because of the fact that he suffered traumatic brain injuries. You know, that makes sense to me. Like, like damn, what's the matter with Jeff?
I
You know?
run
Damn,
around the
Jeff.
store.
Fucked up in the head, dude. It's like, damn, there goes Jeff again doing crazy shit.
Zero chill,
Why
Jeff.
That's why they put his ass on dairy so he can't fuck anything up. You know, they're like, all right, just stay over here.
Damn.
Do you play any video games, Jeff?
I used to. I don't
Oh, what
Yeah.
games did you used to play?
WWE 2K15.
know. No. Anything that does not have John Cena in it, because I cannot stand John Cena to save my life.
Damn.
Yeah, I cannot stand him.
That's fair.
And it's not bad. What do you mean it's bad? It's not bad at all. He can't wrestle. So, I mean, all he has is his character. That's it. All it is his character. That's the only thing that gets him.
And he had sex with Amy Schumer. Don't forget about that.
Yeah, well.
Little penetration.
Ooh.
That's just says something bad about her on her part. Okay, I'm not.
Well, you can say it. No one likes her.
I mean, I was trying to respect the bitches, but you done fucked that up. So,
no one likes Amy Schumer.
no.
Interesting fact before we move into video games, just on like the wrestling and MMA topic, in my hometown we have like this gymnasium that actually has I think maybe like one amateur wrestling like event a month, maybe every 2 months, and I worked one time, and it was actually pretty cool. And the other topic about MMA, that gym I was talking about, they actually have like competitions, so like, and you can practice actual like MMA, like the striking, the kicking, all this stuff, and like you can do competitions. So if I join that, and it's not too expensive, I might actually do some competitive MMA for a little bit, see if I can kick someone in the fucking face.
No. That's how I'm missing teeth right now. I've been super kicked over 1,000 times.
Yeah, but I'm not saying I'm not going to super kick someone. I'm going to put my shin bone into their temple and see how that goes.
I'm not trying to really kill them.
No.
I'm not trying to kill him.
That's what I'm saying I might do though, like here soon, depending on how much like this gym is and how actually decent I am at fighting, like MMA wise. within rule sets. So,
Yeah, but
my-
that's why I don't do that.
I would love to. I always felt like I'd be pretty decent at it, just from like.
I want to go hang out with these people afterwards. They're cool. They're my friends. We all know and love each other, and it's like a family. So you don't want to fuck them up completely, just a little bit, and to go in the back and laugh about it while you they're hurting.
I don't have that
Oh,
like switch. Like it's either I'm gonna if I'm gonna like not fight, but like say if I was like an amateur wrestler, like my switch is all right. We're not doing it, and it is we're doing it. So I'm gonna if I hurt you, it's not my fault. Like I'm gonna fucking try to beat the shit out of you. That's just how my brain works.
Well, that's the thing about pro wrestling. You have to actually train your mind in so many different things, like how to not overreact. You got to realize what you're doing and where you are. Because you're going to get hit and busted up really bad, even though you're not supposed to get hit too bad. But it happens all the time. You got to be prepared for it, and you got to know it's happening. Because I've had my mouth busted open almost every match because I didn't turn my head the right way. I didn't think about it. So I'm missing teeth. I've busted my mouth open 20 million times. I'm spitting blood over my elbow. I mean, you just got to keep going and train your mind to know what you're doing right then.
Well, that's why I couldn't be a wrestler like in that sense because.
And then it's not for you. I mean, the people who do that, the shows in these gyms, they're devoted. Look what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just hang y'all. They make $5 or $10. I mean, come on.
Right. Yeah, like I mean,
shows when you're training, you do shows for free. You don't make shit, and you have to travel 3 hours to not make nothing and get beat up. I mean,
right.
If you don't love it, you shouldn't be the time to do it.
Right.
But you gotta give them guys credit because they bust their ass for nothing.
Right. I can tell you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we're good.
Okay. I can tell you from experience. I was playing hockey one day, and I got in a little shoving match with this dude, and he missed. I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but he missed, and he punched me in the nose on accident. Like, oops. It wasn't that big. Like, it wasn't that like hard of a punch or anything. He like lightly tapped my nose with his glove. I lost it over that. So I know I probably couldn't do that. Like, if someone would like just lightly punch me in the face, I'd probably try to kill him. So
sounds reasonable.
Wrestling, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling like that's not for me. I mean, if it's I'd probably be fired or put in jail for attempted murder. I don't know.
Damn.
So you were playing hockey and you fell on top of another guy and you had feelings and y'all decided to
we made out so hard.
I believe it, dude.
If you can play, you can play.
Did you guys, Jeff? Did you hear about them dudes that did a attempted prison break or whatever, and they got charged?
What?
There was 4 people that did an attempted prison break in North Carolina, and they sure fucking enough did it, and they killed 2 people when they got charged for murder.
Damn.
Good for them.
Oh man.
I have no remorse. What other things are going on, boys? I mean, that's pretty much my life.
Yeah, Mac, you're very boring. Look, for real though, Fortnite, for all our gamer listeners out there, we've been killing Fortnite lately. Me and Mac and a few other people. Fortnite's a great free game to play. You know.
Chandler's been not riding on my back. He's been, I've been carrying Chandler in Fortnite. Without me, he wouldn't have got to the places he's been in.
Nah, he's been right. I've been riding on Mac's back. That's exactly what I've been doing. Hey, Mac's right.
Oh yeah.
Mac is very much a person that likes people to ride on his back.
Yeah.
We'll send you pictures, guys.
Chandler
we'll send you pictures. What have you been doing, John? What have you been up to? I know you've been working your ass off.
I work 2 jobs.
One job.
Dude, he works 2 jobs. You know, Jeff fucking works 1 job.
How dare he?
I know. I thought he just came in
Fuck.
there just to fuck with me, but sure enough, he doesn't. But I thought he did. Actually, Jeff's girlfriend plays Overwatch.
Is she any good though?
Jeff.
Jeff. Oh, Jeff.
I think we lost Jeff, guys. I think we lost him.
Yes, now.
He's still in here, but whatever.
He doesn't. Like
Anyways,
no, it's cool.
anyways, his girlfriend does play it, and she's always posting pictures on her Facebook. I added him, and I saw her up there, but apparently she posted a bunch of shit. But dude, for real, I'm telling you, man, like it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
I'm actually reinstalling Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch as we speak on my computer.
What TV shows have y'all been like?
Oh, buddy.
Watching.
That's pretty good. Walking Dead comes on this weekend. Here, let me just log on to my Netflix real quick.
Yeah. I actually just I'm wrapping up the last season right now that's on Netflix of Brickleberry.
I
Currently.
just watched it. I couldn't get into it. I mean, it was funny. It's just I don't know.
See, it's kind of like, to me, it's like another Family Guy or American Dad. They don't make me actually laugh out loud, but they do just allow me to chill there and relax and sort of enjoy my time while I eat dinner. Now, like, Rick and Morty makes me laugh, but...
It's shit.
Dude, Rick and
It's
Morty is amazing.
There's a show on Netflix I heard is pretty good. It's called Mindhunter. I'm gonna probably start watching that tonight. Ozark was pretty good. I heard I don't know, Upside Down V. Don't know what that is. Opie or Alpha. I don't know. Omega Pi. I don't know. I heard that's pretty good. But I started watching Game of Thrones too, and I mean it's all right. It's kind of boring at where I'm at now, but I mean I have 2 years to actually catch up. And I'm almost done with season 2, so I'm gonna take my time with that.
You're gonna take your time with that.
Season 2 of Rick and Morty. Well, look, from what I heard, season 3 is actually
I haven't finished it or really.
I have finished it, but it's just not where it needs to be for me. Like season 3 it could have been so much better. It's just okay. It's more of the same, but it doesn't really evolve any. And I don't know why that is. It was very disappointing.
Yeah, don't go too much into it. I haven't gotten through a lot of it
I'm
yet.
not. You said Jeff?
Jeff?
Say what?
You guys ever watch Donnie Darko?
Nah, never.
Nah.
I saw that. I did see that.
Bro, listen, I watched it for the first time yesterday. So confused on it. I have to watch it again. But let me tell you, there's a meme of Jake Gyllenhaal standing outside protesting with other people, and on his sign it says Donnie Darko doesn't make any fucking sense, right? So I was watching it, and I was like, you know what? He's right, but this is honestly one of my top 5 movies of all time. Like, I don't know why, but it's definitely my top 10 movies. Top 5. I don't know why, but I'll just like it right there. But so that was a good movie I watched. I watched a funny movie yesterday. I forget what it's called, but it's like these guys fucking ruin their best friend's wedding, and he goes down to get her in Mexico, and then it's just like how they get into trouble on the way down. Pretty funny. Yeah. I'm easily amused. So if there's like farts or like penis joke, I think it's fucking hilarious.
Goodness.
Yeah, I mean, if the raunchier the comedy, the funnier it is to me. I don't know.
I like dark comedy.
That's
black
fair.
comedy.
What would you consider dark comedy?
Whoa.
Bill Hicks. Stuff like that.
Give me an example of what he said that's dark comedy, because I honestly
Talking about like just fucked up shit, like death, rape jokes, just really taboo shit. I mean, like Anthony Jeselnik is okay. He's not my favorite. Like he's extreme dark, and I don't like that dark where it's just shock dark comedy. dark comedy is also like the whole existential thing, which kind of relates into the Rick and Morty stuff, where it's like,
Yeah.
the nihilism aspect of there is no point to anything, and to me that is kind of funny. But
Same.
one thing that fucked me up, and it's just reminding me, Ralphie May died
Yeah.
uh,
Rest in
few
peace.
weeks ago or whatever,
Too late
week
as
ago.
well.
Dude, that shit was really upsetting to me because, like, I really cared about Ralphie May, dude. Like, I loved him when I was young, watching him. I still loved him, dude. Like, I don't know for any of you guys that actually listen to podcasts, like, if you listen to the Church What's Happening Now, or really that's it. But, I mean, as far as, like, the major people that supported him, aside
Hmm.
from, I think it was really a Church of What's Happening Now, him and Coco Diaz had like a 20-year relationship, and it was just so horrible to watch because like you could tell he was really upset that he was dead and shit. You know, it was sad. I was
Yeah, I
like,
believe
damn.
it.
Yeah, because it was like, dude, this guy. I mean, you always knew like fat people that are that big, like 500 pounds, they don't fucking make it. They just don't.
because
Mm-mm.
because
You
being
know,
it's not healthy. Everybody
it's
that
not healthy.
It's
He also
not.
had pneumonia too, but he died of a heart attack.
because he was.
So it's like, come on, dude. I mean,
That's why people that are with the whole entire body shaming shit, like no, if you're fat, you're fat. You shouldn't be big. It's not beautiful. It's very unhealthy. You're gonna die of clogged
See,
arteries.
and my stance on that is like super simple. It's you don't have to put somebody down or treat them like shit because they're fat.
No,
But at the same time, if they come to you and they're like, "Hey, somebody told me they were concerned for me because I'm overweight and I gave them shit and you should too," then you need to have a real conversation with that person and be like, "Listen, like they weren't being disrespectful. They were literally just worried for you." Like some people just
that's
can't
oh,
handle can't handle
yeah.
that. And it's just
People can't deal with criticism. Like, hey, listen, I understand. It's 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 not really your. I mean, I guess it's somewhat your fault for how you are. But I
mhm.
mean, I'm saying like, hey, it's not healthy. Don't be saying I'm ignorant and I'm trying to shame your body. No,
Right.
I just don't want you. I don't want you to die in the next 10 years because
Over something
I
that you
can't.
could have possibly
Yeah,
prevented.
eat a salad, eat two
uh
salads a day.
I
But
mean, there's
I
always this couple case scenarios where that won't help people like
right. I
thyroid
mean,
issues and whatnot,
yeah,
but
exactly. And you got to
yeah.
size and stuff into it and kind of regulate what you eat. But that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, now you can't say shit about nothing. If someone would walk into my house and they're 800 pounds and I said, "Whoa, buddy, you look very unhealthy right now. I think you should slim down a little bit because I don't want you to die." Uh, I can get in fucking trouble pretty much for body shaming and shit. Like, no, dude. Like, I'm concerned for this dude. Like,
right. Why are you not
wait,
concerned?
right? Like, honestly, like that's the thing that like, oh, I'm like, because what happens is the bigger community, they're like, oh my god, all these people worship these skinny people, and there we are, no one worships us. I'm like, yeah, because statistically and historically speaking, uh, we don't want big people as our companions. Like, it's just not good. It's not good for your genes. Like
It's also
obviously when you
not
get
good for
older.
your children when you die early either.
Exactly. It is not good for anything. Like, I mean, if you're a little overweight, that's fine, but don't be like fucking obese. Like, I mean, like,
Right.
if you're like fucking uh 6'2" male and the healthy weight is supposed to be like
Yeah.
210 and you're like fucking 260, that's fucking fine. Honestly, that's fine. But if you're like 150 pounds over where you should be, we got some problems because you gotta slim down there, buddy. I care about you, and I don't want you dying of a heart attack at the age of fucking 35. So
See, that's what happens. Like people that are that overweight, that are that big, don't care anymore. Like I lost 60 pounds. I got to like 320, 330, and I'm telling you, dude, like once you get
So
to a certain point, it's just like you just don't give a fuck. Like you expect to die, I guess. Like Ralphie May, I don't know why he did what he did. Like I mean, I think in the back of his head he was probably in denial that he wasn't gonna die, but it's definitely very scary to think that you can actually, do something like that and something like that can happen to you. Like people think, oh, I'm gonna eat this, that, and the other, and it's like you have to have some self control in life, and if you don't, then you're knowingly committing slow suicide, which is a slow form of death. You
Well,
know?
I can
Right.
uh, I can eat anything that I really want right now, and I won't gain weight. So I'm good for the next 7 years.
Why do you
Um,
say 7 years for? What's up in
because
7 years?
every person in my family, once they hit 30, they just like gained 100 pounds out of nowhere.
So
Like,
you're good.
I'm telling you,
Enjoy.
everybody in my family on both sides, right? We're fucking super tiny, and like I can literally go in there and eat a fucking 7 course meal. Probably, I mean, it might make me gain 5 pounds from the fucking calorie intake, but if I take a nice dumper, I'd lose all that weight. Like, it's I
It's
cannot gain
gone.
weight to save my
Accurate.
fucking life. I tried to take protein, all this shit, and I just can't.
That's funny.
But once I mean, I'm not trying to call my mom and my dad fat, but they're over 40 years old now. I mean, like they're not how I am at this age, you know, like they're my size at this age, and now they're not. But like they both gained weight. I mean that happens when you get older, but I mean like they were skinny like their early years. Once they were 30, it started. It was easier for them to gain weight. Same thing with my uncle. All just everybody, like my cousins that are like that kind of age. I mean, the ones that don't have to do a job where like it's physically demanding, like where they have to like, lift shit and fucking be outside and sweat and all that shit. No, the ones that do that, they're they didn't really have that problem. But now that's honestly I can't wait to turn 34 so I can fucking put some time.
What
Honestly,
about you, Jeff? Jeff, do you have any family members that are overweight?
Rip.
Oh, I guess.
Rip.
Jeff, are you there? Jeff? Jeff?
My mom's coming home today?
Appar- Apparently, Jeff can hear us, but he can't. Whatever. All right. Well, guys, we had that little interview with Jeff, so I guess that's all we get.
That's all we get of the
It's a
famous
wrestler.
ruffler. I'm sad now.
All right. Well, anyways, fucking Mac's gonna get fat when he's 30, so that's fascinating.
yes.
You can have mine,
Holy-
Mac. Just a little bit of
Yeah,
it.
dude. Dude, you can have all my fat.
Honestly,
Like,
if I can gain
I'm trying to lose some weight.
if I can gain 50 pounds, I'd be happy. Like, I wouldn't mind being 170 because I'm about 6 foot. So I mean, like being 120 is not. I mean, it's healthy, but
Oof.
I
You said you're 6 foot and you're like 120.
yeah,
Damn, dude.
Dude,
yeah, I'm about
six-
6.
man.
I can't
Damn.
gain weight, dude. This is like I said. This is how everybody was in my family. But I mean, like, I'm not unhealthy. I mean, I'm not in shape right now because I sit on my ass all day. But I mean, like, I'm not in any dire need of like dying, or I'm not gonna look like an Ethiopian kid. Like, I don't have that problem.
Doesn't look like an Ethiopian kid. I mean, that's fair.
I mean, you can see my ribs, but I mean, it's not that bad. But I mean, honestly, my dream weight would be 195, but I would be happy at 175. Yeah. I need to get an ass. Literally, my butt is flat as fuck, and that's the only reason why I want to gain weight so I can have a nice looking butt. So the ladies
Hashtag
might,
basic bitch problems.
Hashtag Mac needs a butt. Mac needs
ass.
a butt.
For real.
Damn, dude.
Ladies, just I want to walk past ladies on the street and they just slap my ass. That's all I want.
That's all you want.
Girls just slap your booty.
Please, ladies, if you ever see me, I mean, I know you don't know what I look like, but feel free to touch my non-existing ass, slap it. Don't do that.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
Terrible.
I
It's
need-
great though. but
I
it's
need
terrible.
love. You don't understand. I need some loving.
I believe it, dude.
I need companionship right now.
You seem like you do.
You heard it
God.
first. You heard it first,
He's
folks.
an old Mac is horny. We need to get him a hooker.
Everybody
Mac
had
is horny. If you're a
Daddy's
fan of Mac, add him.
hopefully in December.
Yeah,
Shannon knows what I'm talking about.
dude.
Yeah, he does.
What have you been up to, Mac? What have you been doing lately? You just been chilling or what?
Doing some fucking schoolwork, and you know what? I
Schoolwork?
can fucking graduate. I'm in it for the past fucking 4 years, right? I mean, yeah, I've been in this program, the criminal justice program at my school for 4 years. I actually finished my bachelor's degree in 3 because I mean I
Mm.
joined it. I joined it. Yeah, like I fucking put my nose to the grindstone for those 3 years so I can graduate on time. And now I'm in the master's program. But for the past 4 years, 4.5 years, my one professor has just been giving me fucking shit. No matter what I do, I can do it. I can do it completely right. I can literally cheat off of someone, and they get 100%. He'd give me a 90 over some dumb shit, and he wouldn't. If I'm not saying I did that, but like, he didn't know that I did that. He'd still like say, you know what, you could have worked a little harder, and I could have it word for word with a person that got 100%. Good example of this. Last week I had a presentation, right? I put most of the work into it. It had to be a 50 to 70 minute presentation, and so I talked for 40 minutes. I talked for more than half of this presentation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my topic of the group project, well, the group presentation was the laws of sexual like abuse and sexual assault stuff, like different court cases that kind of got us to where we are today with them. So in this chapter, there was probably about 20 or 30 court cases. I talked about them all because if I didn't, we got a 0 because we would not have met the time limit.
Right.
So I do it, and I have all these note cards, and I'm like, I didn't look down, and I read them word for word, and apparently that's a big fucking no-no for me because literally everybody but 2 other people that are in my class did that. The person the girl that went before me that did it, like literally, I watched her so I can have a reason to fucking bitch. I watched her. She looked down the whole entire time at her note cards, read them word for word. Didn't, there's like breaks in between and stuff, and she didn't like. I mean, she did. She did what I did, and she almost got 100%. I got a 40 out of 70, and the other 2 people, one of the dudes that talked for about 5 minutes, and literally turned his back to the audience, fucked up his presentation, his portion of the presentation. He got a better grade than I did. The dude that talked for the second amount of time for 10 minutes, right? He got a 60 out of 70, and he literally read word for word off the slides, like, and I got bitched at for reading word for word off my fucking off my fucking note cards, and that's not
That's
the only
great.
thing, like. Yeah, like, like I did all the fucking work, and he goes, you know what, you all should have got a 0, but Matt really saved you. Pat, you really hindered the other 2. I'm like, you fucking serious? I hindered them without.
Wait, who said that?
My
Your
professor.
teacher?
Yeah.
Dude, I would look at my teacher and be like, "You want to go, buddy?"
That's the thing, though. I was walking behind him when we were going to our cars, and like he saw me. I looked mad, and he didn't say hey, or whatever. Like, he didn't say shit to me. He didn't say bye. He didn't say shit because he knew he fucked me over. Like, before we had the presentation at the beginning of the year, he's like, "Oh yeah, I put the 3 slackers together." I'm like, "Bitch, I ain't no fucking slacker. I get
Why
my work
doesn't he
done.
like
I
you
get it.
though?
I don't know. I don't disrupt class. It's probably because when he says something like political or anything, I disagree with him and actually have reason to like disagree and actually have facts based upon, and he really doesn't on like most of the things we talk about.
Oh, that's it, Mac.
That's what it is. He doesn't like it, and like obviously if it's something that he's really like he really knows about, I'm not gonna fucking say shit because I'm not trying to get an argument on. I'm not trying to get into a losing argument. What the other week we were like he got real pissed off at me and shit. He was talking about universal health care and shit, just healthcare in general. And he's like, yeah, dude, Canada, has free healthcare and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but you have to wait about 10 hours just to get a fucking stub toe looked at, like it's a shit show up there for healthcare. He's like, you need to quit looking on fucking Facebook and getting all your facts on Facebook. I'm like, no, bro. I talk to people from Canada. I talk to people from the fucking UK. I know what's going on in this fucking world. And you're going to fucking sit here and tell me that I don't because I fucking embarrassed you in front of the fucking class? Like, no. Like, honestly, like, if you're going to talk political shit with me, like, know that I literally, like, the past fucking That's all I fucking do really is watch political shit. And like, it's not. I mean, he's a good guy and shit, but like, honestly, get off my fucking dick. Like, I do.
Yeah, he definitely hates you, dude. He
Yeah, he does.
definitely hates you. That's
He
for
does.
sure.
And like I said, I never disrupted his class. You know, another thing he doesn't like. He knows that I hate fucking reading. I don't learn from reading. Like, he goes, you got to read the book to learn. I'm like, bro, why don't you just fucking teach me? Like, I can't comprehend what I read. Like, it's just not how I learn. I'm a hands-on learner. Where, like, all right, you know.
But he says you learn everything from Facebook, which most of the time requires reading.
Right, which makes no sense.
Nice.
Right, and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, like, no, it's just like, teach me. Like, say this is what you do. This is how you do it. I'll give it an effort. You tell me what I do fucking wrong, and then I'll get it right the next time. That's how I fucking learn. And the whole entire I literally he picks the dumbest shit out for all my papers. Right, we have to like cite shit. And I literally did what he told me to do on this, like the last paper I wrote. He's like, all right, you know, this is what you did wrong. This is how you do it right. I did the exact fucking same thing he told me to do, and he still bitched. He goes, you know what? You're still having APA problems. Like, I did what you told me to fucking do. Like,
APA problems.
I don't know what else you need me to do. Like, I just don't know. Like, do you not want me to cite so you can fail me? Like, kick me out of the program? Is that what you really want me to do? Like, you're not helping me, bud. Like, you're not. There's no give and take here. It's not fun for me. Like, I was real pumped. Like when I my first 2 semesters. Like, dude, this is gonna be sick. You know, this is fun. And then this semester, I'm like, dude, I just want to get out of here. Like, fuck this. I'm getting sick. And like, there's some of my fucking classmates I just want to fucking put my elbow into their fucking temple. Like, they're just pissing me off. I'm literally getting picked on at the age of 23, all because when I grow my beard out, I look like a fucking terrorist, and they know I don't like it. They call me Rapist Rick because we were talking about sex. Yeah, we were talking about sex stories, right? This was funny for the first 2 or 3 times that was brought up. We were talking about sex stories. I'm like, yeah, you know, like every single time I've had sex, you know, we were drunk, you know. And they're like, wow, you raped her, huh? I was like, oh, I did not rape anybody. So later that night, coincidentally, the topic was brought up from my professor because that's what we were kind of learning in our law class. My buddy behind me goes, so if you guys are both drunk, what what's that considered? And he goes, well, the male would rape that would be considered rape. And I'm like, fucking Christ. So now they call me Rapist Rick because apparently I rape people, which I don't do.
Nice.
I mean, we're in college. Obviously, you're gonna have fucking drunk sex, and you know what? I blame the stupid rape culture, the made-up rape culture in college campuses for that belief, because not a lot of rape goes on college campuses. I mean, maybe feminists think that because, you know, they think that if you say, hi, I like the way you I like your dress, that's sexual harassment. So
to be fair, if they don't get compliments, they're mad too. So whatever.
There's no winning with feminists.
I wouldn't say feminists. I would say the extreme ones, the feminists.
The SJWs, man. The people that take over everything, man. There's always like people on both sides that have a point, but when you have someone that like is extreme on either side, that fucks it up. Like originally, like for a while there wasn't any extreme feminists or anything. Like back in the day, there wasn't. But now, good God Almighty, like the extreme feminists have come out, and like I was one of these people that like I called myself a feminist, and I still am a base feminist. I think all women should be like, you know, treated equally, whatever, equal pay. But this bullshit that these motherfuckers are doing is crazy. It's like, you know, I don't understand why people say so much shit like about the right, and then turn around and the left goes as far over there. It's like, what's going on? Like, we were winning the argument. We were honestly winning the argument on the left until these crazy people came up and like extreme progressives and all this other shit, and it's hard.
The funny thing is that ruined everything. That brought racism up even more because people are all pissed off at each other now because everybody's just calling each other racist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, obviously there's always.
I believe those extremists were catalysts. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I mean, obviously, yeah, like there's always gonna be racism wherever the fuck you go. It doesn't. It could be Mexico. You can go to fucking Germany. Someone's gonna be racist over someone else. But in America now, I was like, wow, you know what? The black people are being put down even more. I'm like, what? Like, there was a time, I believe, probably a few years ago, like, black people really, like a little slight racist joke here and there. Not honestly, like, don't say the N word or anything. Like, that's always been a no no. But, like, you say, oh, like a little joke. People are like, oh, that's pretty funny. I get it. Now you do that. You're like, fucking racist? What the fuck? You probably voted for Trump, dude. Like, fuck you. You can't do that no more. You can't, like, there's no sense of humor in America anymore. Like, it's fucking terrible. Like,
well, the problem is too. I understand is like, it's hard to have that humor when you can't tell who's really. I don't know. We're at a state now where you can't tell who a closet racist is or who actually has a problem with these people, and they're safeguarded now, and that's part of the problem. You can't just be like, well, I don't know. You gotta be more careful for reasons now because the state has changed.
Right, you're not gonna go to a random black guy and say, "Hey, you want to hear a racist joke?" I'm saying like if you have like black friends or something that know you, like, you can't even do that. You can't like joke around anywhere, like about anything. Like comedians, like they're going so fucking social justice warrior. Like you can't watch them anymore. Like I try to watch, like I was watching Bill Burr, not Bill Burr. Maybe it's Bill Burr.
Comedian. He's not Bill Burr.
Not Bill Burr. I forget who it is. He's kind of like Louis C.K. But I forget his name. I was watching him, and like he doesn't give a fuck. I like the way he jokes around because guess what? If you're stupid enough to not know when someone's being sarcastic, that's your fucking problem.
Probably was Bill Burr. He's dope, dude. He's my favorite. He is my favorite comedian.
Right.
I would say, but like he does a podcast called the Monday Morning Podcast, and that shit is on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Bill. It's Bill Burr.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know.
It's just that's.
The way I look at it though is like if I'm with my group of black friends or not, I'm not gonna.
Right. No.
Chances of me making a racist joke anyways are pretty slim because I understand to an extent what they've had to go through.
That's not what I'm saying though. Like I'm not saying, hey, this, if you got black friends, just make racist jokes whenever you want. Like I mean, obviously you guys are just joking around. Like,
right.
Like you make a joke to your friends and like, oh yeah, that was pretty funny. They go out to their other friends and they're like, oh, where do you hear that? Oh, my white buddy said that. Then like you're then deemed a racist because you made a racist, like a slight racist joke. And that's where it's going.
Speaking of racist jokes, why the fuck are there no good white racist jokes? Like I've yet to hear, like more than what do you call the white guy in the NBA? Oh, the bench. Like I've yet to hear anything good besides that. Like where the
that's good. I don't know. I mean there probably are, but it's just.
I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't see them.
I would be surprised. I'm surprised that there isn't because now reverse racism is a real thing. White people can't be. Nobody else can be racist towards white people. So I don't understand why people aren't throwing like cracker jokes and shit. Like that's a narrative going in America. Like you.
I'm actually kind of mad we don't have any. Cause like think of all the good laughs we could have. Like I want my stomach to hurt.
Yeah, I know. Like I just don't understand. Like like making fun of yourself is fun.
Yeah.
Making fun of like it's fun. Like
that's 100% of the way I deal with life.
Yeah, like if you can't make fun of yourself, like you're fucking dead inside. Like you can't like you shouldn't laugh ever in your life. You can't make fun of yourself. Like it's literally like it's terrible, and that's how America is now. Like, there's so much fucking there's so much stupidity going on with like honestly if you're a I mean I'm probably like I don't care if people comment on this or wherever they can comment at. But like if you're a citizen, if you're an actual citizen of America, you're born here, you have the same rights as everybody else. Like you don't get like you have the same rights. Honestly, it depends on your lifestyle choice, your choices you make in life. I mean, obviously where you grow up, it kind of hinders what you can do, but I mean it's all about self-preservation. You gotta want to be better, and that's kind of like what people don't understand now. People are just like, well, you know what? If you're black, America doesn't like you. They're gonna keep you down as much as possible,
I
which
mean,
isn't true. Like you got,
so you don't
I mean,
think institutionalized racism is actually
I
a
mean,
thing then?
there's definitely there's cases of it. I'm not saying that there's not, but it's not as big. There's not as many as what people make it seem to be. Like, because for one, that's illegal. I mean, there's going to be some. I'm not gonna lie, because people are assholes. Or like I said, there's people in position of power that are racist. It's that's everywhere in the world, and
I don't
I
know.
mean,
That's for me. That's
and
hard to
it's
see, but that's also probably because of where. What state do you live in again? PA.
that's probably why.
I'll tell you something, man. Like I'll be honest about this. There is. It depends. I don't know how it is where you live. I know like a lot of, from what I'm told, like, North does have a lot of racist people too. But
It's not
here's the
even
thing:
the
our
fact.
generation
Hmm.
is. Let me just say, all right, our generation is pretty chill. Like we don't give a fuck. We really don't. But the previous generation and the generation before that was very racist. My grandparents on my dad's side were very racist. My grandmother was extremely racist. They dude even had like a black maid come in and like fucking clean the house, and she always came in through the back and shit. Um, but my fucking my grandfather was asked to join the KKK on my mom's side, because he would,
Fuck.
they would always talk about stuff like that. And I even asked one time, I was like, "How do you think you're going to get into heaven?" Because they were so into Christianity. It's like, do you think there's not going to be any black people in heaven or whatever?
Wait,
And
wait,
then I was
wait,
talking to
wait.
another guy who was like, one of his best friend, or essentially was like, I was like, "Do you think you're racist?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I am." So here's my point. It's hard. Like you can get past it, but I think that there is like maybe something that you grew up with that you just have to overcome.
It's definitely
You
going.
know what I mean?
I guess
Like
my point
honestly,
is less of like the obvious blatant racism and more of like the institutionalized part of it. I have a very hard time at sitting here and saying that I don't see it or it doesn't exist because we see it from job aspect, college aspect, etc. I mean, when I was a salesperson at Sprint, this is super recent. This is 2016 beginning of 2017. I'm a white man. I'll start in the Henrietta location. I'm a white man. We got my boy Brandon and my boy Roy. They're both black. Manager Peter, he's white. He's white and fat. Patrice was a black lady, and then Jacob or Jake was about my age, and he's white as well. 9 out of 10 times, Brandon and Roy were closing, and 9 out of 10 times, if they didn't have one of us white people closing with them, they would have a lot less traffic for sales. And that's just a fact. And usually, if I was in there, people would approach me first unless they knew Brandon or Roy and have worked with them previously. So I don't know if that's a mindset thing, which it definitely seems like to me, or
Probably. It's
yeah,
probably
and I
just
mean
like a
like there's
subconscious
that, and
thing,
then
dude.
like I don't know. There's so much from colleges to credit to. It's just
and
it's hard for me to say that it's not in existence when I see it.
right.
I don't know.
Well,
That's just me though.
that's the thing, though. It's more than just you know, test scores and shit. I
And
mean,
I don't
yeah, it sucks. Like I said, honestly, it sucks that happens. Like, I'm not a racist or anything. Like everybody deserves their equal opportunity. But
right.
like, I mean, it's just more like when it comes to college, it's definitely more than just all right. It's more than test scores, honestly. It's where you apply. They kind of like they'll see where you're from, kind of bring your lifestyle into it. Like it's
Right.
not everybody that's from the inner city of Chicago is gonna act like a fucking gangster. I'm not saying that, but like you go to an Ivy League school and you get two applicants taking test score and stuff, they're gonna have to go deeper into it. And I
Yeah,
mean, it
and nine
sucks
out of
that that
ten times
happens.
they're gonna choose the white kid. 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah.
because that's just how that's how that works, and
I mean, I'm
that's the
not saying that's
bullshit.
right.
No, I
I'm
know
not
you're
saying
not
that's
saying
right.
it's right.
You got it, but on the other, I can understand where like I said, I'm not racist, but I can see where they're coming from. Because say that inner city kid, and he's black and he's from Chicago, they don't know anything about him. They never had a face to face, and honestly, that's what they should do. They should have like a Skype thing or like somehow to actually communicate with him to see how he is, because they don't want that problem and stuff on their college campuses. They don't want the drugs. Not saying that they do drugs or anything.
Right, but the whole point of the kid trying to get into that college is to escape that. They're trying to take control of their destiny. But then the college is saying, well, he probably associates with some people from there, which he might because he's got to have friends, And then turning him away because of that is fucking bullshit.
I mean, it is bullshit, but that's honestly, like, it's not because of racist. It's just they have to dig deep,
But that is a race problem, though. If you're assuming that the kid knows people because he's black and he's from that area, that's a race problem. But what I'm saying is the issue isn't necessarily that, like, we know racism exists and we know what all this. My issue is the fact that the way it's done is done in ways which prevents progression. And then it just makes people more mad. And I mean, like, we've heard it before, we've seen it before. You keep denying somebody something, eventually they're going to stop being reasonable. They're going to want to be mad. And then can you really blame them for being mad? Can you blame anybody for being mad? I worked at a job where I was promised a promotion many a times. I did everything they asked me to and jumped through all sorts of hoops. Only for like a year. Then I got mad. Now, can you imagine being somebody that's got to be mad the whole life, but still try and be doing things other ways? Like, they told him not to protest. What the fuck was it? There was like a peaceful way they wanted them to protest, so that they didn't want to do it the way they were doing it before. So the BLM protested several different ways, and none of those are acceptable. You're gonna get mad eventually. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I
mean, it really doesn't matter, to be honest. It's like, look, if Trump hadn't addressed it at all, if Colin had just kept doing his little thing and they hadn't said shit, most likely it would have all passed over. But because they had to stick their finger in the pie, it caused a huge outcry.
With BLM, I understand what they're doing it for, but there's only really select few members in there that are actually there for the fact of Black Lives Matter. Honestly, there's most of the people in there, like the radical ones, and it's mostly a radical organization. They want demands from, like, they just come up with the dumbest things. Like, they're not peaceful. Honestly, they're not peaceful.
I mean, the ones that I've seen, some of the ones I've seen on social media that quote-unquote represent the masses of the BLM, they're radical, yeah, but most of the BLM members I know, or the people that support it, are just like you and me that just want to be respected.
Right. It's just I mean, it's such a big group. Like, honestly, like,
That's like being a Christian. I'm a fucking Christian, but I definitely don't represent the standard the conception of being a Christian.
I'm not trying to what's the word? I can't even think of the word. I'm not trying to say that, because obviously there's bad and good apples in every group that you ever have in the history of mankind.
Right.
But the ones that actually go out and seek, for at least Black Lives Matter, they try and go out and seek, like, justice and stuff. They're not peaceful people. They came out with a few weeks ago. They came out with demands for white people. Like, if you have a nice home, you should give it up to a black family. You worked hard. Like, that's the shit that they're trying to do. They want to.
I can't speak on that incident because I actually haven't seen that yet, so I actually can't say anything about it.
That's what I'm saying. I saw it. I read about it, and that's like, I'm not saying like every Black Lives Matter members like that. Like, obviously, like, there's same.
Yeah, but see, that shit's to the extreme.
That's
what I'm saying. That's not what BLM stands for.
That's bad. That's horrible.
Extreme, but that's what gets shown. Like, they're not going to show the news. The news just wants fucking controversy 24/7. So they can't get their money.
You know what? Look,
the news is what's showing all these radical things. That's like, if you're a news source, you're going to be like, okay, we have two people from the Black Lives Matter. One of them actually cares about Black Lives Matters, like Black Lives. They care about the black on black crime. They care about the white on black crime, police brutality, all that. Now the other one, they say, hey, fry the pigs like bacon, like shoot all police, all this shit, kill white people. You know, I want their house, I want their money, I want this, this, this. They should pay me back for slavery, even though I wasn't a slave.
Right.
The news is going to show that. They're not going to show the good that can actually come out of like these movements. Like for Antifa, I understand what they do. They want to stop fascist movements and whatever. Granted, there's not a lot of fascism in America. I'm sorry, Antifa. There's probably about a select few of actual Nazis in America, and you know, like they're only about 2,000 overall in the whole entire country, maybe a little bit more. But like now they're just going to it as fascism. They have such a broad aspect on fascism that.
Well, that kind of brings us back to another point too. Is the power groups is like that's more of a real issue than it used to be. There's so many groups that want to be power groups, where it comes down to if you don't agree with what we're saying or whatnot, then you're labeled as part of the enemy. And again, that applies to the radicals a lot too. But still, that's the voice that gets heard, like you said earlier. That's the people that gets represented. So a lot of people and a lot of other groups get misunderstandings of said groups.
Exactly. That's the problem with the agenda in America. It's honestly, I mean, I don't have problem. Like, I mean, it's honestly the progressive left. They want to take every little minuscule disagreement and turn it into something that's so much bigger. And that's why
I just connected it.
That's why like we're having all these problems. That's why we can't get past anything because all right, we'll compromise both sides. And someone else that's in power of it's like no.
Let me tell you a story about the progressive left. Right, I was a huge Young Turks fan for a long time. I really did like them, but after a while, I was like, dude, this shit is just too intense. Like, all they do is say the same shit all the time. And to me, the progressive left is just as bad as the regressive right, dude. I really think that the really far conservative, when you have people that are like too far on each side of the spectrum,
It's dangerous.
that's horrible. You know what I mean? That's it is. It's dangerous. It's horrible. That's why we need people who are on the middle. You know, like I unsub from the Young Turks, dude. It was just so boring. It's like, dude, all y'all talk about is like, let's be this, let's be that, and it's like, they're not progressive at all. They're just annoying.
Like no one takes them seriously. Like I know a lot of really progressive Democrats and stuff, and all they do is make fun of libertarians. They don't care. They're like, oh, well, I can't be serious. You can't even pick a side. You don't want people on one side. That's not how compromises get done. That's not how you move forward. That's what people don't understand. You can't be so biased that you can't take another opinion. Like, that's why we're stuck in a fucking rut in this country because no one wants to fucking think in the fucking middle of the fucking spectrum and say, okay, I get it on this side and I get it on this side. Let's meet somewhere in the fucking middle. No one wants to do that nowadays, and that's what's fucking wrong.
Nobody wants to deal with understanding, compassion,
exactly.
or listening.
People are so fucking retarded. Like, I can't take it anymore. Like, honestly, fucking grow a sack and fucking compromise. It's not hard. Quit fucking being all fucking biased on your shit. Obviously, everyone has their own biases, but like, you got it. Like, just because I disagree with you does not make me a fucking Nazi or a fucking bigot.
Perfect example, me and you. We see things very, very differently, but we can still have a civilized conversation.
Exactly. Like, and I respect your opinion. Like, that's your opinion. I'm not going to call you dumb for saying, okay, you think there's more institutionalized racism than I do. Like, that's, I mean, there is. I can't say there's not, but I just don't see it as much. I think I look past when I do it, I look past the skin color and like I go because just from what I like being in college and my studies, you know, like you gotta look past that. You pretty much have to like go and like to deeper into a person's life to see where they're like how they are, where they're from and stuff, and so I can understand a little bit. But like the ones that are actually like over the top, like I just can't get behind. Like I can't think. I know there's some. I can't think of any instances, but you know. I mean, those are the ones I can't agree with. I mean, I can't agree with all of them. Like, I mean, I partially don't agree with the college thing and stuff. It's, I know it's there. It's always going to be there, regardless of what we do. I mean, it's illegal, but people are still going to be that way because you know, people got money. People got money. They're going to be able to keep people off. So I mean, like, I mean, I would love to have a shit ton of money, but money is the root of all evil, and like,
I mean, dude, it's not if you know how to use it. Like my cousin won $750,000 in a scratch off. He'd got to keep 510,000, and I mean, what ended up happening to him and his girl ended up cheating on him, fucking addicted to Adderall and buying all these fur coats and shit. But
Damn.
he was
I,
smart.
I
He
love.
paid off his parents' house, which he now lives in, taking care of his damn kids, and he bought him a house. So the
I,
smartest thing he did
scratch off.
was
He's not
give his parents that shit, dude. It seems like he's almost incapable of doing shit like that, of
right.
making
Well,
sound decisions or something, you know?
not like the other people that are constantly getting that type of money on a monthly basis and stuff. Like those are the people that that just don't give a fuck what they do as long as it benefits themselves. You see that a lot with like big time companies and big time colleges, and that's honestly where the if you want to see racism kind of die down and like institutionalized racism and shit die down, you're gonna have to be really patient. You're gonna have to wait for our generation to come into power because our grandparents' generations, like it's very well known they're racist from the time they were brought up, and the time they lived. Our parents are not as racist, but there are a decent amount of racists in that generation. So once we come to power, living in the time that we grew up and shit, like um, you're gonna see a lot of racism kind of die down. It's not gonna be as bad. There's still gonna be some because like some kids just like follow their parents word for word, step for step, and like they're gonna be like their parents. Like, but there's most of the ones that are in our generation can actually think for themselves. They can critically think. They like come up with their own opinions and ideas and like base them off of other people's ideas and opinions. And once our generation comes into power positions, like in Ivy League schools and like the government and just all these other big time companies and stuff, you're gonna see most of the shit die down. And I think it's when it comes to like stuff like this, like social things like this, you just have to wait for the stuff that you're bitching about, the people that you're bitching about, the stuff that you're bitching about. You gotta wait for them to kind of die off. Because I can guarantee you, when we have kids and grandkids, when they start growing up, they're gonna bitch about the stuff we believe in. So I mean, it's the end of the cycle, but it won't be as bad as it is today. That's honestly my opinion.
Pappy? Oh, Pappy? Oh,
So
Pappy,
I think that's a
Pappy,
good
Pappy,
place
Pappy.
to kind of end
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah.
That was a strong.
That was a strong ending.
Yeah, but
Strong ending.
I just want to get a shout out to Pappy.
I'm
Pappy.
actually at Pappy's house right now to go eat some dinner. So
That's fair.
Mac.
Well, we appreciate Mac stopping by. Thank you very
Guys,
much,
look,
Mac.
let us know if you like that episode. It came in strong with Jeffrey Bill. We lost Jeff, but he's in our hearts forever. We'll have him on a future episode once we get shit fixed. Mac is, really good. He's using his mic, thank God. Super is duper. As
Also,
usual.
make sure you guys please check out www.patreon.com/theofficialdenboys. The link is actually on our Podbean site and our Big Cartel site, and it allows you to click on it and go straight to our Patreon. Even if you just donate $1 a month, that helps us out tremendously. I work 2 jobs, so it's hard for me to line up my schedule with DC Big. But anything you guys donate will, I think currently we're still doing the 50% donations to the victims. And on top of that, we obviously use it to reinvest into more products for you guys to buy from our merchandise
Yes,
site.
we
And also
will,
the
and-
ability to host our podcast, because we can only have 2 podcasts without paying for the website monthly.
Yeah, and also we actually have tiers up there, don't we, John? Don't we
We
have
do.
tiers of people to invest in? So like all of our pre shit you can check out, like all of our early episodes. If you're listening to this, you might have heard it, but maybe you haven't. And if you want to hear them, you can go back and actually listen to them. And that's just us trying to figure out how to do this shit and get up to where we are today. So, as usual, we appreciate it, guys. And you're our #1 fans. All of you.
We appreciate you so much. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, boys.
Bye.